Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Carolina Panthers and our home team. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Yellow. Right there, 56. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. He's coming. Hey, Ripple. He's coming. Double up.
Mahomes now on 1st down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes, he's going to look deep for Perriman. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And got his man complete. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Off the edge, Mario Addison gets the sack.
It's 2nd down.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Mahomes. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week,
he's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead.
well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Andre Ellington, his first carry. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Hey, Ridley. Alpha.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. A gain of 6 there on 1st. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
Now it's Barber, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Only one way to describe Ronald Jones' rookie season with Tampa Bay, and that's disappointing. Drafted to be their lead runner, just 23 carries on a team that ranked 29th in the NFL in rushing.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He may try and run for this. And he slides to avoid the hit. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Barber on 1st and 10. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get him into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that fit?
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And the pressure gets to him again. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept you in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 34. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Gun.
Here's Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career. You're saying that's going into the trophy case? I'd put it there. Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Peyton Barber, a surprise workhorse for the Buccaneers in 2018. I don't think they expected him to have 234 carries, but he certainly felt like he could carry the load and just carried it there for a nice gain. On 2nd and a yard, Mahomes. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Gerald McCoy able to record his 5th sack of the season. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice. And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it? It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Going the other way.
holding penalty and negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And the return will stop right around the 25. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Ready, check line 54, 8.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
That's it. 54. It's a party now. It's a party now.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Watch the 8. 51's the mic. I got it. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. So we got man.
To throw again. Newton. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
We taking win call. Yellow.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
We want it. Come to my world. Attack, attack.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Cameron Brate, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camp. Do you remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room? This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Carolina getting set to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Looking to throw again on second down. Newton, that's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, as the first half is winding down. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So Newton and the Panthers come up now first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
I'm coming after you. Under 10. Under 10. 8.
Throwing is Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
20.
On first down, Newton. And this one's incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Over the middle, complete to Samuel. 23 yards the pickup there. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a third down.
Ready, right there, 54 Mike. Great. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Hey, one set.
From the gun, here's Newton. Steps away to his left. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
I've got 156. Let's go.
On the ground, it's Barber to start the drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete here.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Big stop, D.
On second down, Barber. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU most valuable. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by James Bradbury. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's a position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
That's it. Great. All right. Here we go. Let's go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there for Carolina. 48 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Scarlett. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Right here. Whip.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
180. Right there. 54 Mike. Great.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw, Newton. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Cam Newton. And the Panthers just continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. On the ground, Ellington. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Watch out.
Hey, Sunday. Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 50. Let's go. Pick it up.
On 1st down, Mahomes. He's going to launch this thing right up. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw on third down, Newton. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 2-yard line.
Fly! You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Check.
They'll start on the ground with Barber. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run here with Barber. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taking it about the 36. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position.
Set. 180. Right there. 54 Mike. Yeah. 20.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Carolina, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly.